breaking update coming in as far as the deal signing between the two countries are concerned, because at this point in time, US President Donald Trump has signaled that US will move carefully before signing any agreement with Iran. In fact, in a series of strong remarks, he has said that there is no rush to finalize the deal, insisting that any agreement reached under his leadership would be good and proper. Trump has also used the moment to draw a sharp contrast with former President Obama's 2015 Iran nuclear agreement, a deal he has repeatedly criticized over the last few years. According to Donald Trump, the negotiations are currently underway and they would be the exact opposite of the Obama-era arrangement, which he claims gave Iran too many concessions. Now, in the comments that he has made now, this comes amid intense diplomatic activity, the back-channel talks that continue, and the growing speculation that a breakthrough between US and Iran could be closer than ever. But despite the optimism around the talks, Donald Trump's latest remarks suggest that White House wants to project caution. They want to project strength and control before committing to any final agreement. So at this point in time, a very important statement coming in from Donald Trump. He has signaled that US will move very carefully before signing any agreement with Iran. In a series of strong remarks that he has made on social media in the last 12 hours, he has said that he is in no rush to finalize the deal, insisting that any agreement reached with Iran under his leadership would be good and proper. He has also asked his negotiators to take their time to finalize the deal with Iran. And this comes, in fact, few hours after he had announced on social media. Remember that a deal would be announced very shortly. He had kept people on the edge as well, and now he has come out on social media once again and putting out that post mentioning that there is no rush to finalize the deal, insisting that any agreement with Tehran, which under his leadership, would be a good and a proper one. All right, so in the latest statement as well, Donald Trump has said that he will not be rushing to sign an agreement with Iran. Trump also used the moment to draw a sharp contrast, as we told you, with former President Obama's 2015 Iran nuclear agreement, a deal that he has repeatedly criticized over the last few years, and also ever since the war has started. He has repeatedly reminded Americans about that crucial deal. But according to Trump, the negotiations are currently underway and they would be exact opposite of the Obama-era arrangement. Let me take you through what Donald Trump has posted on social media. He has said one of the worst deals ever made by a country was Iran nuclear deal, put forth and signed into existence by Obama and the rank amateurs of Obama administration. It was a direct path to Iran developing a nuclear weapon. Not so with the transaction currently being negotiated with Iran by Trump administration. The exact opposite. In fact, the negotiations are proceeding in orderly and constructive manner. And I have informed my representatives that to not rush into a deal in that time is on our side. The blockade will remain in force and effect until the agreement is reached, certified and signed. Both the sides must take their time and get it right. There can be no mistakes. Our relationship with Iran is becoming a much more professional and productive one. They must understand, however, that they cannot develop and procure a nuclear weapon or a bomb. I would like to thank thus far all of the countries of the Middle East for their support and cooperation, which will be further enhanced and strengthened by the joining of the nations of the historic Abraham Accords. And who knows, perhaps the Islamic Republic of Iran would also like to join as well. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So a key takeaway as far as this post by Donald Trump is concerned, he has compared the deal that he's going to sign with the one that was signed by Obama in 2015, saying that this time around it is going to be exact opposite of what happened 11 years back. And also, in fact, in a lighter tone, he has also gone on to say that the relationship that he shares with Iran is becoming a much more professional and the productive one. And he has asked his negotiators to wait and to get it right, because there cannot be no mistakes, he has mentioned. And also, at this time when the Strait of Hormuz is blocked, he said that the naval blockade that has been put up by US on the Iranian ports, that will remain in force and effect until the agreement is reached. So that is a pressure point, a friction point, a red line that US has drawn so far. So it remains to be seen how this really pans out. But at this point in time, he said that I have informed my representatives not to rush into any deal. And this comes hours after he had announced on social media that, in fact, a deal could be announced very, very shortly. It has been 86 days since the war in West Asia started, and the parties are yet to sign an agreement. While the US and Iran negotiators remain actively engaged in the talks, both sides are yet to officially announce a deal. Reports suggest that two sides may have reached an agreement in principle, but some of the sensitive sticking points, they are still unresolved. And meanwhile, the rhetoric seems to have softened, as we told you, through the social media, with both sides calling and dialing down the war of words. While US President Donald Trump has said that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, he has also described Iran and US engagement as much more productive and professional. In his social media post, he has said that he has asked his negotiators not to rush into a deal, while also adding that elsewhere that wherever he announces the agreement, it will be good news, insisting that he does not want to make a bad deal. Earlier on Sunday, in fact, addressing a joint press conference with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio had said that negotiators had made some progress, adding that the world may hear a good news very soon, at least with regard to the Strait of Hormuz. Listen in to what US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said in India.
Multiple political leaders, multiple presidents of the United States have all said the same thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. The only one who's tried to do anything and has actually done anything about it in a real way has been President Trump. So his commitment to that principle that they'll never have a nuclear weapon shouldn't be questioned by anybody. And the idea that somehow this president, given everything he's already proven he's willing to do, is going to somehow agree to a deal that ultimately winds up putting Iran in a stronger position when it comes to nuclear ambitions is absurd. That's just not going to happen. But our preference is to address this through a diplomatic means, and that's what we're endeavoring to do here. I think we've made some progress. I'm always cautious when I say that, because you can agree to things on paper, they actually have to be implemented. You can agree to things in writing, and then you actually have to go out and do it. And but I do think perhaps there is the possibility that over the next few hours, the world will get some good news, at least with regards to the Straits and with regards to a process that can ultimately leave us where the president wants us to be, and that is a world that no longer has to be in fear or worry about an Iranian nuclear weapon. And so I do think there's some good news on that front, but not final news on that front.